We did 2 wins and whists and an episode in an hour and 10 minutes. Why can't we do this every week and be off? This is fantastic.
Welcome to another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. I'm Shane, and we're here on YouTube, or maybe you're listening on your favorite podcast app. We appreciate it. Please follow us, subscribe wherever you're taking in the show, and you can also check out Patreon. We have a page, a channel there, so to speak. You can support the show if you like what we're doing. Patreon.com/5 Idiots Talking Toys. You get early access to all of our videos, all of our toys that go up for sale on Rogue 5 Toys, our sales page, as well as a bunch of other benefits. So please, a couple dollars and you can support the show. We'd appreciate it. Let's keep these things going. Let's bring in the fellas now. Charlie Bean Satchels is here.
Shane, hello. How you doing?
Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Good.
The fans have been asking about 2 Idiots Talking trailers. And I told them Charles has not been available. He does not want to do it in the summer.
I mean, I got the messages. I messaged you. You are not into it.
I am so into it, but I'm not into it on Wednesday nights. And I'm sitting around like all day. I'm like, I could go for, a trailer right now, but I don't know when you work. Like if there's times that you're home and doing nothing.
Send me a message.
Yeah, that would be perfect because I'm sitting at my computer all day long.
That's fine. We'll do it.
So,
Uh-oh.
Timer's up for our last episode. We did pretty good. All right, so 2 Idiots Talking trailers. We're going to come up with some more trailers soon. Let's bring in your brother, Christopher W's here.
I'm still waiting for that trailer.
That's right. Brandon W is here. And John W is here.
Podcast? You guys have your own podcast?
Rogue 5 on now with Chris and Brandon. Friday nights.
Except for last Friday night.
Except for when you don't want to do it.
We took the night off.
It's hard, for everybody watching this show. It's hard to record as much as we've put on the schedule for ourselves. 2 episodes a week. 3
it's real hard to record it
with Rogue 5. Well, it's hard to record, and John's got even more work. He's got to record it and edit the whole damn thing. He never quits. He'll edit whatever you give him, but it's a lot of stuff. All right, here we are. We're here. We're drinking. We're only onto our second. Well, Dr. Pepper. He's on his second Dr. Pepper. I'm spilling it down my face. And Chris, you have a topic for tonight. And from what I understood, you said that we're going to.
Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
We're doing it live. The audience likes that, and here we go. What is your topic, Chris?
I don't really know what the name of the actual topic is, but I'm just going to come up with one right now. And it's going to be called, Why Does AFA Suck So Much?
Arnold Schwarzenegger's our guest tonight. So what made you think of this? Like, what was the most recent
Over the years, we've just heard so many complaints and so many shady things that apparently were happening or not happening. You never really know what's true. But now someone that we're, very close with, who buys from the page, who buys from all the pages, has had some very weird experiences dealing with AFA. And this is going to become so annoying when somebody else talking.
I found it.
Right. It's just become really obvious now that what they're doing right now is just really shady stuff right now.
Well, let's throw this in there. There's been a lot of kind of upheaval with that company, right? Like they've sold, then we were talking about the comic book part is kind of going out of business.
Diamond.
A few years ago, Diamond. A few years ago they bought CGA, which owns AFA. Like there's a couple of grading companies in there.
This has been going on for years. This has nothing to do with the new people involved. This same shady stuff has been going on with them for years.
Okay.
At least I think so.
I just don't know if it's getting worse or if it's just getting more obvious now. But they have always been accused of doing shady crap in the past, and now when you actually know people directly and from what's happening, now it's just like, all right, well, now you start to believe it. Charles had a instance in the past just recently when he sent in stuff to AFA to get graded, and what happened with you?
That was like 5 years ago.
I remember. That's the number one thing I think of.
I don't think Charles has done a figure in 5 years, so this is probably 5 years ago.
This is not 5 years ago, but
he only grades Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
When I switched from CAS to AFA, I sent all my stuff to AFA. Like, I want to say I spent like $5,000 in grading. I don't know, some like ridiculous number, and they found at least one thing from each order. So I placed like 4, 5, 6, like 7 orders. They found one thing from each order that there was something wrong, that like they got something for free. So like I had to pay the, whatever it was, $59.99 or $49.99, and I got nothing back.
You actually lose the money. Like, you lose the money when they find the problem.
Did you call the police when you got robbed?
No. One was like
the police are coming for you.
It's gonna get annoying
because we're in the middle of talking and gathering our thoughts, and we hear this and it's annoying.
One was like a repainted figure. They said I had like multiple weapons are like not legit, and they literally sent me like a Rebel blaster, which was supposed to be like an Imperial blaster, and they said you sent the wrong one in. I'm like, obviously I sent in the correct one that's supposed to go with the figure, and they sent me back some other like weapon, and they said, oh, you sent the wrong weapon in. No, absolutely, I did not send the wrong one in.
You had to be the first person that I know that this happened to back when we first started doing this.
I looked it up online. There are so many people who've had stuff returned from AFA because they get $50 or whatever the amount is for doing nothing.
You were the first person that I met that this happened to. And then since this has happened so many more times to other people.
A ridiculous amount of times.
All the viewers need to understand that when AFA does this, they keep your money. So when they send something back, you don't get a credit. You can't mail something back. They keep the money for free and just ship you back your crap on your dime. So they're like always finding problems.
So what CAS used to do is they used to send me an email and say, hey, like I don't know, you forgot to send in this. If you send it in, we'll grade it. So I would send it in. Or they would say like, hey, like this doesn't look good. What do you want to do? Like, we'll like reimburse you the money, or we'll give you a credit, like something like that. Not with AFA. They just steal your $50 or whatever it is, and they send you stuff back. And you have no idea. You open the box and you're like, all right, I'm supposed to have 12 graded figures. I only have 10. Where's the other 2? They're on the bottom. It's like, oh, you sent in a Rebel blaster and not an Imperial blaster. I'm like,
they're not even doing it with those. They're knowingly taking expensive accessories and saying that they're fake, and they're replacing them with ones that are fake or painted.
Yeah.
And then they'll send that crap back saying that you're the one who submitted it with a painted blaster.
And we've heard that before numerous times from people.
I sold a Luke. I don't know, call it a Luke Endor or Luke Poncho for whatever reason, and the person that bought it sent it in the AFA, and it was a legit black blaster. It wasn't painted or whatever. He got it back saying it wasn't graded, and they took his $50 and said that he sent in a painted Rebel blaster or a painted, Palace blaster, which that wasn't the one that I sold.
So there's a chance, not accusing, but there's a chance in this situation. They kept $50 and a $50 blaster and sent you a $1 blaster.
Jane, there's no chance. With my case, I could speak to 100%. They stole my stuff.
And for all of our, let me just say this real quick. For all of our viewers who are maybe a little bit newer, or if anybody came across this video, this episode, Charles was the accessory guy when we started this show. I mean, you bought and sold accessories on a daily basis. You could identify accessories, really well. You could identify fakes just from like looking at a picture.
They didn't even say something was fake. It was like, I think I sent them a
You sent them a boss figure that was a no COO, and they told Charles it's the wrong blaster for a no COO boss. Took his money, never refunded him, yet there's no such thing ever about a blaster for a no COO boss.
They told me I sent like an IG-88 like rifle with it, like instead, and they sent it back with it.
Which is so dumb because they're both, $7 items. Like it's not even. I mean, they're just taking the $50. I mean,
it's not only Charles. This is happening to multiple people, which is it's getting a little out of hand.
Yeah.
So this is where the story evolves now, is that I'm not going to mention the guy's name because he still has stuff with AFA, and I don't need him to be, getting, in trouble, or maybe them doing something more to his personal stuff while it's there. But there's been a guy that has been buying from us, for a long time. And every single order, AFA finds something wrong every single time. And multiple times it's been, this figure has been repainted. Now, if a figure has been repainted or touched up, you should say where it was painted or touched up. So they should have an idea. To just send the figure back and don't even tell them and keep their money is a little crazy. But this is.
Let me guess. That was the Death Squad commander.
One of them actually was the Death Squad commander.
Yeah, because mine, I had the same exact thing, and they said it was
the Sharpie on the helmet or whatever.
They just lie and just steal your money.
It's so easy to even see that too. It's like
I didn't even sell him this figure that we're talking about, which is the Death Squad commander. But like I use a black light over all my figures always, and most of the time you can see when something has been colored in and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And every order he gets back, again, this figure has been touched up or repainted. Send it back, and I always go, all right, send it back to me. I'll just sell it on the page. It's the same value, but I'm not reimbursing you back for your grading because you decided to grade it, not me. And that's really not my responsibility. If it was fake, absolutely. But to say that I look these things over every single time and I find nothing on them. And then I sold him a Greedo on the page, and you guys are going to love this one. He sent in a Greedo to get graded, and you know what AFA told him? AFA cannot verify the Greedo because he has an irregular eyeball.
I've had the same
What?
Irregular eyeball or irregular eye paint in his eye. They can't verify it. So they steal the money. So now they keep the $50 and they send the Greedo back. And then he sends me this and goes, here, AFA is saying that he has an irregular eye. And I go, okay, well, send it back to me. I'll give you back your money, and then I sell it on the page. And I don't know what they're talking about. But again, that's happened before also.
That is crazy.
Then he bought 2 blue snaggletooths off of eBay, not from us. He sent them into AFA. Both of them got sent back saying that they've been touched up or repainted. Nowhere on the figure did I see this thing being touched up or repainted. I checked them over. They don't give an explanation of where and why or whatever. So, again, all these little instances have been happening. He sends in a figure with the correct blaster, and they mail him back. Or, no, they don't even mail him back. They just mail the stuff back 5 months later and says, oh, you sent in the wrong blaster. You didn't send in a Luke Bespin blaster. You sent in something else. We never got it or whatever. It's always something is missing and always something is wrong.
You know what's crazy?
It's the same thing with everybody. I had the Greedo. I had the Death Star commander. I had the wrong freaking blaster, which is like 1,000,000%. I did not send the wrong freaking blaster with the figure. Like they're doing the same stuff to each person. It's the same exact thing.
So now he kind of got a little bit smarter, and he's taking pictures of everything before he sends it in. And guess what happened? They sent him back a Princess Leia and said that the blaster was repro, that it was a reproduction, that it was painted, whatever. Well, guess what? Not only did he take pictures of it, and it's the completely different blaster than the one he sent in. The pictures are not even the same, but it was sold on our page by Brandon that he bought it, and we even checked those pictures, and those pictures were the same ones that this guy had before he sent them in, and then when AFA sent pictures and sent it back, completely different blaster.
You know,
they're stealing the stuff, man.
And this guy is not going to do this and make this stuff up to just, make someone look bad. They're stealing this stuff, and this is what they're doing.
So what's crazy is AFA has always been regarded as the premium grading company.
Yeah.
They've always been regarded that way. And then when CAS came along, everybody's like, "Oh, I'm an AFA person. I don't do CAS. That's ridiculous." Oh,
remember when they were at Morphe Auction and they were buying stuff at Morphe Auction to grade themselves? They do that all the time. They buy stuff to grade themselves. You can give it whatever grade you want if you own the damn place. So they'll just do it, and then they'll put it online, and they'll sell it on their eBay account and make tons of money.
When you own the grading company, and you own the auction house, and you own CIB, which is another huge seller on eBay, collectible investment brokerage, whatever it's called, you could do whatever the hell you want. And again, I'm not even getting into that and saying that that's wrong and what they're doing. I'm just talking about the figures and the accessories. Like, enough is enough. Like, you guys have been caught many times now with these pictures before.
I'm just trying to say that they're kind of shady to begin with when they're doing that kind of stuff. When you own all the things and you're grading the things you own and you're selling the things that you just got graded that you bought, that you own the company, like, that's shady enough. And then you're stealing stuff, or your people that work for you are stealing stuff and switching out accessories knowingly. And multiple people have been taking pictures of the stuff they've sent in to show that this is going on. Yeah. Charles first uncovered this back when he was grading a ton of stuff, and now everybody's doing the same thing. They're grading their figures, and people are getting unhappy. Like, I don't know what's going on over there, but like, people are just blind to it, and they're just, I'll just keep going. It needs to stop.
I'm almost positive, too, the same guy sent in a gunner or an A-wing with the solid Endor blaster, and then 6 months later in the box, he's expecting to get back a graded A-wing or gunner, whichever one it was, and it was rejected on the bottom because it had a gray Endor blaster. And guess where that was bought? From our page, with a solid black blaster in the pictures, because we save everything on our page. So
now, is this stuff that's actionable, you think? Is this like a class action level?
How do you prove it?
And to be fair, not to be fair, but just to point out, even if you take pictures of the figure in the blaster before you send it in, it doesn't mean that there's that person that's out there didn't switch it before they mailed it. I mean,
of course,
you'd have to almost take a video of you dropping it in a baggie, putting it in, and sealing it up.
I can maybe see them mixing it up when you send in a bunch of items and they open all the baggies and somehow something gets mixed up. But the fact that this is happening constantly, and people that keep grading them, it's happening to the same people over and over and over again, to me, it's not a coincidence anymore. And the way I do it, so I've graded a couple times with the AFA, but I'll just go straight to them at a show and I'll submit it, because then they have to verify that the actual thing is in there, and you're writing on the contract what's in there, and they're verifying it. And I've actually taken pictures of stuff I've submitted at shows on top of their table with their logo there, going, okay, this is what I'm submitting. But not everybody can do that, obviously.
Here's the Death Squad commander, and basically you can't see it, but it says on top, figure has been touched up, which is just crazy. And then here's the Greedo, and the Greedo's excuse was irregular eye pupil paint with the presence of wear to base color of eye is questionable to authenticity.
It's got the alien Earth. Got the alien Earth goat eye.
And that's another thing I forgot to actually tell you. He's gotten multiple figures sent back, saying that they can't authorize it. Like, they can't tell if it's real or not. but they still keep the $50 and they don't refund it.
Yeah.
And that's happened multiple times. So,
which is almost extortion, really.
If you're a grading company, isn't this your job to either come down with a yes or a no? When you send stuff back and say, we don't know, that's the most stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, literally.
Yeah.
And that's the Death Star one. Again, I don't know why I can't show pictures here. They don't come in good, whatever, but
God, you can send them to John. He'll put it right there.
See nothing.
Right there.
Look close to the camera.
Give me the picture and I'll put them in there.
It literally says figure. Yeah, that's as close as it gets, Shane.
Good Lord. There we go. There we go.
Oh. Figure has been touched up with paint. Like, come on. No, it hasn't. And this wasn't even bought from me. I have nothing to do with that sale either. It's just annoying to like always hear the same stories of AFA over and over again. When are people just going to wake up and stop sending them? Yeah. Seriously. I mean,
well, that's the thing is nobody's going to be able to prove what they sent in. You could take a picture, doesn't prove that's what you sent in. Anybody that this happens to they don't really have any recourse.
I don't think you have to prove it. I think you have to look at CAS. You hear none of these problems. You only hear these problems from the one grading company. That's it.
And if there's a problem at CAS, number one, they credit your money and say, hey, we're sending this back. You have like up to a month to find this or that and send it to us. And it's no charge. Just send it back and we'll grade it.
And I don't want this to sound like we're choosing sides here. Obviously, we're just reporting the news because that's what this podcast does. But CAS has gone out of their way to contact, and I know I've submitted several items to CAS to get graded, and they've gone out of their way to personally message me and tell me, hey, you need to add this, or this was, this needs to be replaced or whatever. And you have 2 weeks to get it to us so we can put it into the case or whatever, and they've gone out of the way to do that and actually refunded me quite a few times for stuff on their end that they've messed up. And AFA, it's crickets, and they don't refund anything. There's no customer service. They take all your money and they, and there's no recourse. At least CAS owns up to most of their mistakes and stuff that they do.
I just sent in 4 Lily Letty overstock heads that were non-painted that I had bought from a trusted seller in Spain or Mexico, wherever the hell it was. And I sent them into CAS to get graded. And instead of just sending me a box back in 5 months saying, hey, we kept your money and we didn't grade them because they were fake, they emailed me back in a couple of weeks and said, hey, 4 of the 5 heads are not painted. They've just been stripped from paint. You can see under the magnifying glass shards of paint and this and that, and we can tell that it's been stripped. And I'm wow. Oh my God. And they sent me pictures too. And I go, oh, damn. Okay. Like, sorry. Then they actually credited me back the $200 that it was, or about $200. It's $50 a figure. They credited me back on my account. So the next time I did make an order, I had a $200 credit, and then they sent me back the figures. And it didn't cost me any money. It was no harm, no foul. And yeah, I'm sure it does waste their time, and and their time is money. But they didn't just steal my money. They actually told me, here's the problem, but like this is what the problem is, and sent me proof of the problem. Not just saying, oh, the figure's been touched up with paint. Well, where?
Yeah.
The head, the boot, the ass.
Yeah, I mean, they don't. Yeah.
Well, out of all the examples we've given, the 4 heads that were stripped, I mean, that's the only legitimate example that I think that somebody could even keep the money. Like, hey, we took our time to examine these.
Yeah.
We've taken these pictures under microscope for you. And it turns out they're fake. Like, we spent time. The other ones is like, oh yeah, that blaster you sent us is totally the wrong one. It's purple and
yeah, keep the $50. Thanks.
They would have figured that out in 1 minute if it was true,
Yeah, I mean, half the people that grade these aren't even experts on this anyway. I mean, who's a real expert? You weren't you weren't sitting next to Gertrude while she was packaging these up and doing all this stuff. So I don't know, man. I have my own feelings on grading companies and authentication and all that to begin with. You get what you get, but at least get the word out and say, hey, man, there's some shady stuff going on over there. And maybe they'll learn when people stop submitting stuff. But, you know, we're a little podcast, so we won't get, you know, the word out unless we go on Rogan and tell the world the story.
Well, you know, we've talked to Ross Barr from CAS. We've talked to some people trying to understand, you know, at the period of time when they were really backlogged and things were taking a really long time, we were like, you know, how do you improve this situation? And one of the things he pointed out was, he was like, listen, it's really hard to get somebody who can oversee the actual grading part of the operation. We can't just hire somebody, you know, they've got their operation down in Florida. We can't just hire somebody from the town we're in Florida to come in here and grade stuff. Like you've got to have years in on these things and be an expert knowing what to look for. So can we hire some junior people and they can start to learn about some subset of figures from the guy who knows? Yeah, maybe, but that's the thing. Maybe AFA is, you know, doesn't have the expert looking at every one of these figures. And it sounds like there's something shady going on, but CAS gets backed up. It's because there's like one guy who's in charge of the grading people and they're looking at everything. And there's a limited number of people with expertise, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, and not to mention the other rumor that we've all heard for the last 20 years that AFA keeps their grades down, that they don't give out high grades on purpose, and they score things lower than what they really should be to not saturate the market and kill the market for the high grade, you know, value that they obviously bring in because they sell it at auction and on eBay, you know, through CIB.
Yep.
Charles sent in all those figures that were straight off the card, bought from one seller. I want to say it was like 40 of them. 20 of them were sent to CAS. They all got 85s and 85 pluses and maybe a couple of 80 plus, you know, and 20 were sent to AFA, and every one of them got 70, 65, 75. So,
Jeez.
I mean, are your grading that far off from one another, or, you know, what's the case?
I mean, and you know, it's all word of mouth too, because all these new collectors that come into the hobby, they're all like, oh, hey, I heard the AFA is the best, because it's word of mouth and word travels fast about, hey, who's the best grading company? Oh, it's because they've been around, you know, one of the first ones to start up. But
they were the first, yeah.
Hey, you know, just be careful if you're a new collector out there and you want to grade your stuff. Just know that some of this stuff is happening out there, and just you know.
Well, let's put the question out to our viewers, John, and I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah.
For everybody watching, have you had any issues with grading figures? Maybe you dropped off a figure at a show in person at one of the grading company booths. Maybe you've mailed it in. Tell us about, you know, shipping issues you've had. You know, issues with figures coming back. If you've had issues with accessories for either company, you know, to be fair, you know, share your experiences, but. You know, please comment below. Let's get some conversation going over this topic, because we've heard a lot over the last couple of years, but you know, sharing your stories is the only way that the conversation is going to keep going. John,
if you know anybody at AFA that wants to join us on the podcast, please do.
Yeah.
We'd love to get to the meat and bones of it. Yeah, but I'm just saying, I think what we're doing is fair. I don't think it's something that we're not bashing AFA, but.
No, because I love AFA. I always used AFA too.
Yeah,
I would tell everyone and steer them to go. You know, I use AFA. It's great with AFA. And again, it wasn't against CAS. I think CAS does things better in certain things, and I think AFA does things better in certain things. But now, when shady stuff is going on, I wouldn't send them anything.
Well, you know, I would always. Now, I'm not a grader. I think, you know, people who watch the show before know that I have graded figures. I bought them graded, but I've always heard that AFA is the more valuable grade. You know, you're holding 280, you know, a CAS 85 and AFA 85. Generally, the people in the hobby will tell you the AFA figure is worth a little bit more because they're harsher on grading. But based on the story that Chris, you just told, if you've got an AFA 75 plus and a CAS 85, like, and the figures in your eyes are the same. I mean, what's worth more? I mean, to me, the CAS figure's worth more. I mean, you're talking a couple of grades below, like multiple, 3 or 4 grades below a 75 plus and an 85.
I can tell you straight from the horse's mouth, which me is the horse, that when I get in collections, and if it's AFA or if it's CAS, and I hate to say this, but the AFA loose graded figures sell way faster and easier than the CAS ones. Mm-hmm. And people will always be like, "Oh, I don't want CAS," or "Oh, I don't collect CAS." And the mocks, the AFA ones always sell faster. They always sell out, and then I'm left with the CAS ones, and people don't want them. And in my head, I'm always saying, I want the CAS ones. Now going forward, those are the ones I want now.
Right. And the grades being the same, I still can understand that. But if you're, sending figures in, and Charles did a little bit of an experiment there, right? He split up his lot. He said, I think these are all really good gradable figures. And he was coming back with, like I said, 3 grades apart. You got 75 plus, 80, 80 plus, 85. You're 3 grades apart there. I mean, it doesn't matter who graded it. You're going to be, your 85 is going to be at the same or higher.
I don't even care. I just buy the figure. I don't buy the grade. So if there's a graded figure and it grades at 50, and I really like what the figure looks like, I'm just going to buy the damn figure. I don't really give a about the grade.
Yeah, but you don't want to display, a 65 or something. I mean,
Shane,
at that point, just keep the figure. You don't even need to grade it,
Yeah, but if it's already graded, I will buy it like that.
Oh, stop it. You're not buying a graded 50 figure unless it's a bootleg or
I bought several. They happen to be Yodas and their bootlegs, but they're or
right. That's what I'm saying. You're not buying a Bosk 50 from AFA. And
to be honest with you, the way loose graded is nowadays, there's no sense in grading anything that's going to grade 75 and under.
I honestly wouldn't even grade figures
graded
right
already.
And I will just buy graded figures. And I'm not talking about like a rocket firing Fett or a vinyl cape Jawa. Of course you grade those. I'm talking about like the more common regular Star Wars figures.
And listen, there is nothing
bots and whatever.
There's nothing unless you have a rocket firing Fett or a vinyl cape Jawa or maybe a yak face, but like nothing to me is worth grading right now. And you're wasting your time spending all that money to grade it, getting it cleaned, archive, all this stuff for what? For them to
I don't know that we're going to
your money.
I don't know that we're going to see a period again where it's worth grading. I mean, there was
buy it graded already, like you said.
There was a COVID period where everything was through the roof, and at the time, grading figures was. I mean, I think when we started, it was like $50, 50. Then it was like 60 or 65, and now it's like 70. It's like 70 plus now. They lowered it.
Everyone lowered it back down.
Okay,
now. So
I was going to say because. I was going to say, because what figure are you going to add $70 in cost onto and get your money's worth out of it?
Like, let's just say, for instance, name a biker scout, right?
Right.
A biker scout loose sells for about $25 to $30, depending on the condition. I mean, if he's mint, obviously we're talking more. But I'm talking about like an 80-ish condition, $25 to $30. If you grade a biker scout and it gets graded in 80 and you sell it, what do you think it's selling for?
Exactly the cost,
$85, $90 max.
or less.
You're actually lucky to get $100 nowadays.
Yeah.
So why are you grading it? There's no point to. So you're only hoping to get an 85. That's it.
Right. You're sending it in. I don't know what the turnaround time is right now, but let's say it's 2 to 3 months, which sounds reasonable. You're sitting on that figure for 3 months, waiting to get it back, hoping it doesn't get lost in the mail, hoping there's no shipping disaster,
hoping it gets an 85 and up.
Yeah, but if it doesn't, you're just breaking even.
Breaking even.
Or if you bought it for $20 at a show or something.
Most of the time,
just make your $10, $15 and move on with your life.
Most of the time, people are losing because you're paying shipping back and forth, insurance back and forth, and then the taxes. So you're actually losing money at the end.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'd love to see the comments on this episode and see where the discussion goes. See what our viewers and some other people who have found this episode thought of their grading experience with any of the grading companies out there. There's obviously other companies in England. There's a couple of more underground companies in the U.S. But share your stories, good and bad. I'm sure many people watching this have had good experiences. But let's say you have one bad experience, 2 bad experiences out of every 10. That's not good. That's not a good ratio for you to want to keep sending in figures to grade. If you have a headache, 2 out of every 10 figures, it's not good. So share with us there. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment below. Tell us your experience. You can also check out our Patreon if you want to support the show. And what are we doing? We're doing down
below. Comment down below.
Oh, comment down below. Yes,
yeah,
correct.
Comment down below.
Correct. All right. So here's a Patreon. You can support the show if you like what we're doing, and we will see you next time on 5 Idiots Talking Toys. We will also talk to you in the comments below. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
See you in Xenia. See you at the Great Ohio Toy Show.